Why does all life ultimately end in death? This is a question we all know, yet don't really understand. Actually, it's not just life. Earth, and even the entire universe, are all living towards death. This is a fundamental law of the universe that no one can change. 500 million years ago, in the distant M742 galaxy, a consciousness once asked the captain, "What is the ultimate fate of the universe?" Entropy. What is entropy? This concept is incredibly powerful, yet so difficult to grasp. In the early 19th century, physicists discovered that energy drives the world and successfully discovered the law of conservation of energy, meaning the total amount of energy remains constant. But one problem remained unsolved. Energy can never be 100% converted. They tried countless methods but could never reduce energy loss to zero. So they called the energy wasted during conversion. Energy that can no longer be used. Entropy. Later, this concept was summarized as the Second Law of Thermodynamics. Energy conversion always produces entropy. In other words, a perpetual motion machine is absolutely impossible. Put simply, entropy can be thought of as disorder. The second law of thermodynamics tells us that all things eventually tend toward maximum entropy, meaning if no external force intervenes, things will always move toward a more chaotic state. Why do cars break down faster when left sitting? Why do houses get dirtier when not cleaned? Why don't beautiful things last? Why do clouds scatter so easily? Why is glass so fragile? It's because maintaining beauty requires energy. Without energy input, that beautiful state will end. Life is no different. When a life is born, its entropy begins to slowly increase. And the food that sustains life is the energy that fights entropy. In other words, from beginning to end, you're fighting death. You can only slow down the rate of entropy increase. You can never stop it completely. When entropy reaches a critical point, life comes to an end. And all you can control is how fast or slow that happens. The same principle applies to human civilization. From when our ancestors first learned to use fire to today's rapid technological development. On some level, human society isn't necessarily becoming more advanced or civilized. On the contrary, humans, like everything else in the universe, will ultimately only become more disordered and chaotic. Why? Because high-tech inventions and new energy sources are just another way to suppress entropy accumulation. We need energy to keep the world stable and orderly. And this comes at a cost. Things like garbage pollution, global warming, species extinction, and so on. Physicists tell us entropy can never be eliminated. We can only make local areas orderly by transferring chaos elsewhere. From the moment scientists discovered entropy, it became clear. Life cannot achieve immortality. All things tend toward chaos. From the moment of the Big Bang 138 billion years ago, the universe has been moving toward disorder. From life at the smallest scale to celestial bodies at the largest. It seems certain things are predetermined. Each thing has a different critical point. In nature, a mayfly lives only 2 days, while turtles can live hundreds of years. On the scale of celestial bodies, the sun's lifespan can reach 10 billion years. 100 years is far too brief for the universe, but for humans, it seems long enough. According to the law of entropy increase, the universe will also face death at some point in the future. What kind of energy controls entropy? What lies beyond the universe? Perhaps we'll never know the answer.